What's up, Cardfighters? I have player A's top 3 deck profile. What did you play?
I played Steam Maidens featuring Chronojet.
And
So we've got one, oh, one Uluru, grade 4. She's really good to set up your G zone and just being able to get 25k guard off something. You know, pretty helpful. I played 2 Time Leaper Dragon, just so you can, go Chronojet, go into this, and then send something back. This did come up pretty good amount of time, but usually I only had one in deck because by the time I hit grade 3, I was already drawn one of them. Obviously, our replacement for the one that has left us. Chronojet, basically you just do the same trick, Soul Blast out the grade 3, ride a grade 2, but now you do a little bit more work since he's not searchable with Cat, so we play 3 of him. I play 3 of the grade 3 Steam Maiden. Realistically, when you stride, you're going to go into her. She's searchable with Cat and a dog, and she gets power for every card in bind. And if your opponent wants to stay at grade 2 and they're at high damage, you just play V. And then I play 3 of the grade 2 Steam Maiden. I thought about playing 4, but usually I only needed 2. And by the time I actually needed her, they were usually already set up. So this just extends the combo to get through the grade 3 and climb, and helps you bind if she gets called from the bind zone. I play 1 Nobu. This did mess up some plays, just because it prevents your opponent from using their Heal Guardian and helps you bind. So pretty good. It removes itself, puts itself into soul, and you actually need a good amount of soul.
Smell that from the entrance.
One of the best cards in this deck. 4. She gets you Cat. Cat usually will plus you. Then you can Soul Blast. Usually this is how we'll Soul Blast and Chronojet out. Soul Blast to get you anything from the top 2 and helps you set up bind. So you play 4 of her. She's also searchable with Cat, so you can do her, get Cat. Cat can potentially get her as well. So you play 4. Play 1 of him. This is just for removal. You could send Time Leap Dragon, a grade 1, get him, send your one of your opponent's cards back into the deck, and then extend your attacks. So this was a 1 of, and also like if they play Honolulu or something I needed to get rid of off the board, I removed it with him. I played 3 Rolocks just because I knew I was gonna go down most of the time, so I needed something to guard. And he just, basically another PG in the deck. One of my favorite cats. Top 3 to search a Steam Maiden. Add it to hand, put the rest at the bottom of the deck, and he'll gain power for every card in bind. Usually, he would be like a 15k booster, 13. Always helps bump up my attacks. So I played 4 of him. Another addition after we lost grade 3 Steam Maiden was Lost Gear Dog. You need to find your Chronojet. So if you have any grade 3 or higher, you just on place go search your Chronojet. Or if you needed the grade 3 Steam Maiden, you would use that, reveal, and go get whatever you needed. Usually I always reveal the grade 4 just because unfortunately I always had it in hand whenever this popped up. I did play 1 of her, and all she does is removal. She did come up every now and again to help me get rid of stuff. But I mean 1 of is fine. Also you can search this with Cat. 1 Melon
Now, what game are you playing?
I liked her because you could go get TikTok and just keep going with your plays. This did come up like once, I believe, in my rounds. So I think playing one of her was fine.
Might want for better voice next time.
I also played
I've been playing a lot
one
of Monster Hunter
of the
Rise.
V grade 1 Steam Maiden.
New content came out like a couple weeks ago, so like,
By the time I was actually gonna
get to it all.
go into full combo, usually she was in drop and I could get it with the grade 3 Steam Maiden. Or if I was striding, this was already in my bind zone. So playing one of her was not a terrible problem for me. So yeah, you know, just extends attacks. One TikTok worker, and this will give me soul and get you an extra attack. So you can, you know, send a grade 1 to go get you a grade 2, or you know, however you want to do it, or whatever's on your field.
I'm fine with that.
I'm playing 4 draw sentinels. I would probably switch one of them for a crit sentinel, but this was fine too. I mean, you don't really need a hard draw because cat exists, but this also, you know, just helped.
Chris and Craig.
3 stride kit crits, just because, you know, sometimes you want to keep the grade 3, or you want to ride the grade 3 and
Sometimes has a
you can just use this to stride. So you play 3 of them. 3 porcupines. This guy was great because usually I only had 1 or 2 damage, and I needed to, you know, I wanted to get greedy and use more than that, and I had this in hand, so helps you build up bind and get you to countercharge. So you play 3 of him. You play 1 stand. Realistically, I would have made this into another crit, another porcupine. This didn't really come up. This is just like an idea of like, if you had something in your hand that you really wanted to send back, the over trigger, you could send it back, but this was a lot more helpful. 1 OT, because, you know, shutting down turns is cool. 2 of the Uluru heal trigger. You can search cat with this, and if you're gonna go do V, get you to countercharge. So, you know, this is either 15, 25, 35k attacker. 2 of the heal guardians, just because I wanted to balance it out 2 and 2. But, you know, heal guardians super good.
Oh, you're all back in town?
A V starter.
So no more hour-long drives.
And that's it for my main deck. For my G zone,
15. I guess y'all live like
I
over
played
here, like Sam's Club.
3 of the ZTB G guard. It can be a pretty big shield if needed. You just need to get 5 cards in bind, which in this deck shouldn't be too difficult at all. So I play 3 of her. I play 1 G guard Uluru. You know, it lets you send back a trigger and a normal unit.
So he's going walk
So
around.
you could send back the heal trigger you used to bring this out, or an OT, and then try to shuffle your deck somehow. Two bear locks. This didn't really come up because unfortunately the time that it could have, I was playing against Mega Colony, so there was that. But yeah, this being able to just you ending on a grade 3 on your field and this becoming an extra G guard is just really good, especially if you're playing against something that uses guard restrict. I played 2 of him, never really came up. Probably would cut this. You could make this be anything, honestly.
He's constantly talking about Vanguard.
1 of him, 1 of him. If you needed a counter charge, if you're playing against Mega Colony, you can just add something to hand. 1 Chronovisor. I mean, you could try to get him to work, but really he was just kind of there on the off chance it did. Because mainly, what you're always going to be striding into is her. She is your main stride target at all times. Just being able to do multiple attacks and just proc your grade 2 to go get a grade 3 from drop to put into bind is just really good, and then that would proc her to come from the G zone to do an additional attack. Giving your front row plus 10. The rest of the G zone in terms of strides can be very tech, but you need 4 of her or at least 3. But I would say I might as well just go do the whole set. Just go 4.
If you, I don't have it even on me.